The Federal Reserve just made a decision that's going to hurt millions of American retirees, and they're about to do it again. In just a few weeks, we'll find out exactly what Social Security's 2026 cost of living increase will look like, and the early numbers are showing something troubling. What I'm about to reveal will show you exactly how much your buying power is being reduced every single month. Stay with me, because this impacts every American family. Hit subscribe right now. You need to see this. Just a few days ago, the latest inflation numbers came out, and they're worse than most people realize. The Consumer Price Index jumped to 2.9%, up from 2.7% last month. This isn't just some boring statistic. This is your money losing value in real time. While big banks and corporations are doing just fine, regular working people are getting crushed by rising prices everywhere they turn. Let me show you exactly what's happening to your wallet. Housing costs have gone up 4% compared to last year. That means if you paid rent or owned a home last year, you're paying 4% more today for the exact same thing. Medical care, which seniors need the most, jumped 3.4%. Food and drinks, the basic things you need to survive, went up 3.1%. These aren't small numbers when you're living on a fixed income. Here's what makes this really frustrating. The Federal Reserve keeps saying they want inflation at 2%. They've been saying this for months. But we're not even close to 2%. And worse yet, inflation keeps going up every single month instead of down. They're failing at their most basic job, and regular Americans are paying the price for their mistakes. And now they're getting ready to make things even worse. Next week, the Federal Reserve will probably cut interest rates again. They'll tell you it's good news, that it will help the economy. But here's what they won't tell you. When they cut rates, it usually makes inflation go up even more. They're trading your buying power for what they think will help Wall Street. The job market is also showing serious warning signs. New unemployment claims just hit 263,000 people in 1 week. That's a big jump, and it shows more and more Americans are losing their jobs. Our economy is slowing down, and that's exactly why the Fed wants to cut interest rates. They think it will get people spending money again. Here's how that works and why it might hurt you. When interest rates go down, it becomes cheaper to borrow money. So people who have been waiting to buy a car because loans were expensive might finally decide to buy one. Same thing with houses. Businesses might take out loans to expand and hire more people. On the surface, that sounds great, but there's a catch. When more people are buying cars, demand goes up. When demand goes up but there aren't more cars available, prices go up too. Same thing happens with houses, with everything. It's basic economics, but the people making these decisions either don't care or don't understand how it affects regular families. Now let's talk about what really matters for Social Security recipients. There's something called the CPI-W, which stands for Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. This is the specific number they use to calculate your cost of living adjustment each year. It's slightly different from regular CPI, and it's what determines how much extra money you'll get. In July, the CPI-W was 2.78%, which we can round to about 2.8%. In August, it was 2.83%, so basically the same 2.8%. These numbers matter because they're used to figure out your raise for next year, and based on what we're seeing, that raise is going to be pretty small. Several organizations that track these things have made their predictions. The Senior Citizens League thinks the cost of living adjustment will be about 2.7%. There's an independent analyst named Mary Johnson who predicts 2.8%. AARP also says 2.8%. So we're looking at somewhere between 2.7% and 2.8% for your increase next year. Now, what does that actually mean for your monthly check? The average retired worker gets about $1,828 per month from Social Security. If you include everyone who gets Social Security benefits, including people on disability and survivor benefits, the average drops to about $1,865 per month. With a 2.8% increase, most people are looking at about $50 to $56 more per month. That might sound okay until you remember what else is happening. Medicare. Part B premiums are also going up. They're expected to rise by about $20 to $21 per month. Do the math. If you get a $56 increase but Medicare takes back $21 of it, you're really only getting about $35 more per month. That's barely $1 a day. Meanwhile, everything you need to buy is getting more expensive every month. Think about what $35 extra per month really means when you're buying groceries. When housing costs are up 4%, medical care is up 3.4%, and food is up 3.1%, that tiny increase doesn't even come close to keeping up. You're actually falling behind every year, even with the cost of living adjustment. This has been going on for years. Every year they give you a small increase that sounds reasonable on paper. But every year, the real cost of living goes up faster than your benefits. It's like being on a treadmill that keeps getting faster while you can only walk at the same speed. The people making these decisions live in a completely different world. They don't worry about choosing between paying for medicine or buying groceries. They don't understand what it's like to stretch a fixed income further every month while everything gets more expensive. The official 2026 cost of living adjustment numbers will be announced in the second week of October. But based on everything we're seeing right now, it's going to be another year where your money doesn't go as far as it did the year before. This isn't some accident or natural economic cycle. These are policy choices made by people who could fix these problems if they wanted to. They choose to keep interest rates low to help big businesses and banks get cheap loans. They choose to print money for government spending and overseas programs while giving retirees tiny increases that don't keep up with inflation. They prioritize corporate profits and political projects over the people who worked their entire lives and paid into the system. Every month that goes by, your Social Security check buys less food, less medicine, covers less of your bills, and every month the people making these decisions get richer while you get poorer. It's not right, but it's exactly what's happening. The question isn't whether next year's cost of living adjustment will be too small. It will be. The real question is how long this can continue before millions of Americans realize they're being left behind by the very system that promised to take care of them. Subscribe to stay updated on these crucial developments. Hit that like button if this information opened your eyes, and let me know in the comments how these rising costs are affecting your family. Share this video with anyone who needs to understand what's really happening to Social Security. The more people who understand what's really happening, the better chance we have of demanding real change. But here's what I really want to know. If they can find billions for everything else, why is it so hard to make sure retirees can afford to live with dignity?